Hello and welcome, dear friends, to another edition of Omuntu, a special economic development program devoted to free ideas for promoting fairness and human well-being in Malawi. The role of political leaders and ordinary citizens, how Malawi can get a foothold on the development ladder, and what holds back development progress in Malawi are some of the questions we tackle in this program. In today's edition, we're going to reflect on how Malawi can position its economy to make it stable and less affected by global economic downturns. We'll discuss agriculture production, skill-based employment, and transparency in the mining industry and all other sectors as important areas that could help to stabilize Malawi's economy. Joining us is Dr. Ruth Kumalo, an expert in agriculture and food security, and Dr. Philip Malichelo, an expert in international relations and economic development. Welcome, Ruth and Philip.
Thank you, Crispin. It's a pleasure to be here and contribute.
Thank you for having me again, Crispin. I was happy to contribute to your program last week, and I feel honored to be here again. I'm excited to discuss this important topic.
Also, welcome to you all, our dear listeners. I'm your host, Crispin Dambula. Stay tuned. Let's begin with a contextual background to today's program. There is an outcry among Malawians that the economy is not doing well in the country. The cost of living has hiked, they say, and the government is not helping at all. For many, the solution is to migrate to other countries. Malawians in diaspora who want to go back home are often discouraged by fellow Malawians that they would suffer if they returned to Malawi. It is in the wake of such fears that we bring experts to share their views on what Malawians need to do in response to the global economic downturn. I want to start by responding to Malawians who think that migrating to other countries is the best solution. No, it is not. That's mediocre thinking. Before we embark on today's program, I want to challenge those who are afraid of going back to Malawi and those who want to migrate to other countries to avoid high cost of living. If you run away, who is going to solve the problems? It is the responsibility of all Malawians to do something about the challenges the country is facing at present. I want to start with you, Ruth, on the importance of agriculture in securing Malawi's currency. Could you share your insights on this matter?
Absolutely, Crispin. Agriculture production is the backbone of Malawi's economy. By intensifying agricultural practices, investing in modern technologies, and promoting sustainable farming techniques, Malawi can significantly boost its productivity. This not only enhances food security, but also creates a surplus for export, leading to increased demand for the Malawian currency. It's a crucial step in stabilizing Malawi's economy. But even without focusing much on exports at present, production of goods for domestic consumption is enough to keep Malawi's economy stable and less affected by global economic crises.
Thank you, Ruth. Now turning to Philip, could you elaborate on the role of skill-based employment in Malawi's economic stability?
Of course, Crispin. Skill-based employment plays a vital role in local manufacturing and economic growth. By investing in education and vocational training, Malawi can empower its workforce with the necessary skills to drive the manufacturing sector forward. When Malawi produces goods locally, it reduces its dependence on imports and creates employment opportunities, particularly for the youth. This strengthens its currency and shields Malawians from the impact of global economic downturns. I want to underscore investment in local manufacturing. That's vital for Malawi's economy.
That's an excellent point, Philip. Now let's shift our focus to the mining industry. Transparency is often a concern in this sector. Ruth, can transparency contribute to economic stability in Malawi?
Transparency is very crucial, Crispin. By implementing fair and accountable mining practices, Malawi will attract responsible investors and ensure that the wealth generated benefits all Malawians. Mining revenue can be reinvested in infrastructure, education, and healthcare to further strengthen Malawi's economy. Transparency fosters trust, prevents resource mismanagement, and paves the way for sustainable development.
Thank you, Ruth. Now let's discuss the long-term vision of improving public transportation, including railway lines and road networks. Let's start with you, Philip. What benefits can this bring to Malawi?
Improved public transportation is a game-changer, Crispin. It connects agricultural and manufacturing hubs across the country, allowing for the efficient movement of goods and services. This strengthens supply chains, reduces transportation costs, and enhances Malawi's competitiveness in regional and global markets. Farmers and manufacturers can access larger markets, expanding their customer base and increasing profitability. It's a crucial element in achieving self-sufficiency and minimizing the impact of global economic downturns.
Absolutely, Philip. Now let's bring all these ingredients together. With intensified agricultural production, skill-based employment, transparency in mining, and improved public transportation, Malawi can climb the economic ladder and become self-sufficient. However, it requires a life of modesty. Ruth, could you elaborate on this?
Certainly, Crispin. A life of modesty means making sustainable choices and using resources wisely. It means valuing Malawi's natural wealth and investing in the people. By embracing modesty, Malawi can avoid excessive consumerism and focus on long-term economic development. It's about building a solid foundation for the future and ensuring that all Malawians benefit from the country's progress.
Well said, Ruth. And as we conclude this episode, I want to appeal to all Malawians who are listening to be proactive in the economic development of our nation. Each one of us has a role to play in building a prosperous Malawi. Let's support local industries, invest in our education and skills, and advocate for transparency and sustainability in all sectors. Together, we can create a brighter future for generations to come.
I couldn't agree more, Crispin. It's time for Malawians to come together and work towards a common goal. I hope political leaders in Malawi listen to this. The path to economic stability and self-sufficiency is within the reach of Malawians if they seize the opportunities and embrace a proactive mindset.
You're right on point, Philip.
Thank you, Ruth and Philip, for sharing your valuable insights.
Thank you, Crispin. It's an honor to be part of your program. You are doing your part to contribute to your country.
You're welcome, Crispin. By the way, I heard some of your friends call you Kida. What's that?
It's my childhood name, a combination of the first sounds of my first and last names. And thank you, dear listeners, for joining us. To all Malawians, remember that we all have a role to play in the economic development of our nation. Let's rise to the challenge and create a prosperous future for Malawi. Until next time, stay motivated and keep striving for progress. This concludes today's podcast. But before we go, let's hear your thoughts. Post your comments on msika.tech, msika.tech. Join us again next week when we shall bring you another edition of Ubuntu. Bye for now.